actually possible that you can contribute beyond the 7.5%, which used to be the norm, and it can actually go up to approximately 80%. And at the moment, that's the best you can ever do. So your salary check at the end of last month was 100,000 Rand. What you will receive in pension the end of this month will be 70,000 Rand. In future, somewhere in the distant future, people who now amended their pension scheme system will actually get 80,000 Rand. We're not there yet. Now the problem doesn't end there. All the banks except for Nedbank will allow you to pay your last installment at age 75. Which means when you retire there, you might still have 10 years, 15 years, even if you retire at 60, to pay installments on a property or properties or vehicle or vehicles. But you've just lost 30% of your income. Doesn't end there. When you reach that point, your pension will not increase in the same way that your salary did, because you're not gainfully employed anymore. You're now drawing against your interest in that pension fund. And if you get a 3% increase over a 5-year period, you will be lucky, which means your expenses will again overtake you at approximately that point, 68 to age 70. It's what they call, the Americans call it a double whammy. Now, this is one of the reasons why we invest in property. Because if we do not provide for those two eventualities over and above our pension schemes, we will not survive, and that is also the reason why elderly people do not buy new vehicles. They just don't have the resources. And this is why elderly people very often end up in subsidized retirement schemes, forgotten and lonely. Very well. Now, those are two of the eventualities that we will have to provide for. Any questions? Great. Property investment during the current economic climate. If we look at the prices, the percentage of people who invested in buy-to-let properties, because that's in fact what we do, isn't it? We buy properties, we keep them. We're not speculants. We don't speculate. We don't buy and sell. We don't go to auctions. Some of us actually do. But we don't go to auctions, buy it cheap, give it a lick of paint and sell it. That's speculation. We don't do that. We have a long-term view. Now, the number or the percentage of people who bought buy-to-let properties during the financial year 2005 was 20% of all properties purchased. At the moment, in the first quarter of 2016, it was approximately 9% of all properties purchased. Now let me tell you this is an exceptionally high percentage. 20% we will never see again. That is just uncommon and exceptional. During 2015, it was 8.8%. We're already on track to beat the 2015 percentage. Why do I find that extraordinary? Interest rates during the first quarter of 2016 is higher than what it was on average during 2015. Despite that, we have an uptick in purchases of buy-to-let properties, investment properties. Who has any idea why that is? Let me tell you quickly.
I think people don't know, many people don't afford to buy properties to keep, so they have to rely on renting out from people who keep their properties.
They have to rely on
somebody like a people member who buys to let, because banks refuse to approve many of them.
There you go. Sorry, your name, sir?
Johnny.
Johnny. What Johnny says is actually spot on. Part of the truth is the property investor is somebody who's in it for the long term, and who is somebody who hopefully manages his or her affairs responsibly and disciplined, and invests in property as in the normal course of events. What happens when interest rates started being increased, the normal buyer, the person who buys a primary residence, slowly but surely came under pressure. And it's everybody out there. Interest rates being increased on mortgage bonds. It's not just in respect of bonds, it's also in respect of your credit card, your personal loan, your revolving loan, your loan at the furniture shop where you bought your big screen TV when you rushed out on a Saturday morning to be able to watch the game. So it means the consumer is under pressure, and it's all the consumers out there. And they have less disposable income, which means because they're not disciplined in the same way that a property investor would be, more and more of the purchases of primary residence do not qualify as rates increase, because they borrowed rotten. There you have it. Which is why we will see in the second quarter that 9% going up again. The people who successfully purchase properties now are disciplined people who are financially deliberate. People who do not have 5 or 6 funeral policies. I'm still waiting, and every single time when I meet with members, I invite them to explain to me how you intend to collect on funeral policy number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ladies and gentlemen, we make up that 9%. And it means, hold that thought, it means 9 out of every 100 properties sold are bought by us. And we don't live in them. We will never see them. We have other people who live in them. And they will pay it off for us. Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Considering that the interest rates in South Africa are now double digit, as opposed to the interest rates in other countries such as Australia, Japan, negative interest rates, and so on, what is the likelihood that we can source a bond funding from the international banks to repay?
0. We have some exceptions, our members in Swaziland and Lesotho, those are the only, and Namibia. They are the only people, our members in Swaziland, in Lesotho, and in Namibia actually get bond finance in respect of properties situated in South Africa. And it's lots of technical reasons. It refers to the SADC grouping. Those countries are part of the economic, the SADC economic unit of countries. The reality is this: if you go to Citibank in the United States of America, let me just say again for those of you who didn't hear, the question was, the fact that we have high interest rates in South Africa, why can you not get finance from a bank in foreign currency, a foreign bank? Australia, where the interest rates are, well, in Japan, the interest rate, I think at the moment is 1.25%, as a matter of fact. So why not a yen loan? Number one, our forex regulations makes it almost impossible for the individual. But the big reason is this: if you borrow in dollar, let's say you borrowed $100,000 on the 10th of December. No? When was this? The Nene Gate. The 11th of December, am I right? On the 10th of December, you borrowed $100,000 from Citibank.